Most people think Lewis Hamilton is simply a smooth driver, but the truth goes much deeper than smooth inputs. Hamilton doesn't just press the throttle, he manages it. And according to telemetry data, that difference may be one of the hidden reasons behind his long-run dominance and race consistency. But here's where things get interesting. Every Formula One driver uses the same type of throttle pedal. Modern cars run highly advanced and very similar control systems, and teams can analyze throttle data down to tiny fractions of a second. So why do Hamilton's throttle traces still look different? And an even bigger question we'll unpack later: is Hamilton fast because of this throttle style, or did certain cars simply reward the way he drives? Because once you understand how he applies power and how that affects traction, tire temperatures, and stability, you realize something important. Throttle control isn't just about acceleration, it's about controlling the entire platform. By the end of this video, you'll understand why many engineers say the fastest drivers aren't the ones who hit full throttle first, they're the ones who arrive there in the smartest way. Most fans imagine throttle control as something straightforward: exit the corner, floor the pedal, gain speed. But modern Formula One is far more complex than that. Today's hybrid power units deliver massive torque at low speeds. Electric deployment gives drivers instant power with zero delay. That means if a driver is even slightly aggressive on exit, the rear tires can break traction immediately. Once the tires start sliding, a chain reaction begins. Sliding builds heat. Heat reduces grip. Less grip hurts acceleration. So, paradoxically, pushing harder can actually make you slower. This is where Hamilton stands out. If you look at his telemetry, the throttle trace often appears as a smooth, progressive curve rather than a sharp spike. He builds throttle gradually, sometimes hovering around partial throttle before committing fully. And here's the key detail: that's not hesitation, it's timing. Hamilton feeds in power at the exact rate the rear tires can accept it. As the car straightens and aerodynamic load increases, he adds more throttle. The result is minimal wheel spin and stronger overall traction. Now here's the next logical question. If he applies throttle more progressively, why is he still so fast on corner exit? On paper, slower throttle application should mean slower acceleration, but racing isn't about peak inputs, it's about averages. Racing tires generate maximum grip within a narrow slip window. Too little slip and you're not using the tire fully. Too much slip and grip drops off quickly. Hamilton consistently operates near that sweet spot, while many drivers briefly exceed it. Those tiny moments of excess slip reduce average traction. Hamilton's smoother throttle delivery produces more usable grip over time, even if he reaches full throttle slightly later. Over a single corner, the difference looks tiny. Over a lap, it becomes measurable. Over a race distance, it becomes decisive. And here's something many fans underestimate. Throttle control plays a massive role in tire temperature. Rear tires heat extremely quickly under acceleration. Even small slides can spike surface temperatures within seconds. Once temperatures climb too high, grip falls away rapidly. Hamilton's progressive throttle helps keep those temperatures stable, protecting the internal tire structure. That's where tire management comes in, which leads to an interesting thought. Did Hamilton's tire management make this throttle style effective, or did the throttle style create the tire management? The answer is both. Tire wear is often driven by repeated micro-slips, tiny traction losses that add up over time. Hamilton minimizes those micro-events. Engineers sometimes analyze how frequently drivers adjust the throttle mid-corner exit, and Hamilton's inputs tend to be calmer and less erratic than many rivals. Fewer sudden changes mean fewer traction shocks, less heat buildup, and slower degradation. But it goes even deeper than tires. Throttle behavior also affects car balance. When torque hits the rear axle suddenly, the suspension compresses and weight shifts backward. If grip can't handle that spike, the rear steps out. That forces steering corrections, which increase slip angles and generate even more heat. Hamilton's smoother throttle application helps prevent that cascade. The car stays settled, and a settled car builds confidence. Now, here's an obvious question. If this technique is so effective, why don't teams just engineer throttle maps to copy it? Because real throttle control isn't just software, it's feel. Drivers are constantly reacting to steering angle, tire condition, surface grip, and energy deployment modes. No algorithm can perfectly predict all of that in real time. Hamilton is widely known for exceptional rear-end sensitivity. Engineers often praise how precisely he describes traction over the radio, feedback that helps shape car setup around his style. Which brings us to another debate. Was this advantage only visible during dominant machinery, or does it exist regardless of the car? Even in less competitive seasons, telemetry comparisons have shown similar throttle patterns. The style remained consistent, only the results fluctuated. Now, let's look ahead. Future regulations could make this even more relevant. With a larger share of power coming from electric deployment, torque delivery will become even more immediate. Instant torque makes traction control through the driver more critical than ever. At the same time, lighter cars could reduce tire stress and degradation. If tire wear drops significantly, the advantage of ultra-gentle throttle inputs might shrink. So we're left with a fascinating dilemma. Will future cars amplify the value of Hamilton-style throttle precision or reduce its impact? More electric torque increases traction sensitivity, but lower degradation could narrow the gap. That balance may define the next era of driving styles. And maybe the most fascinating part of all this is how invisible it is. Fans see overtakes, pole laps, and dramatic moments, but throttle traces live inside engineering software, and that's often where the biggest performance gaps hide. So now I want your take. If the data clearly shows Hamilton applies throttle differently, and teams analyze this constantly, why is it still hard to replicate? Is it talent, experience, or pure instinct? Let me know in the comments. Is Hamilton's throttle control one of the most underrated advantages in modern Formula One? And if you enjoy deep technical breakdowns like this, make sure you subscribe, because next we're diving into which driving styles could benefit most from the upcoming aero changes. Because in Formula One, speed isn't always about going flat out. Sometimes it's about how you get there.